Hey guys, and welcome to the new episode of Full Throttle. After we showed you the gigantic BMW X7, now we have something a little bit more compact. This is the brand new Mercedes GLC. The Mercedes-Benz GLC is a compact SUV that is based on the C-Class. The car can be purchased only with an automatic gearbox and can only be all-wheel drive. For the 2020 facelift you get brand new headlights, brand new rear lights and some tweaks to the grille style in the front. The car starts from €50,000 and with the extras can reach all the way to €100,000 from the AMG models. Now let's check out what's under the hood of the GLC 300. The model you have here uses a 2-liter petrol engine which has 255 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds and it has a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Those are some pretty good numbers for such a big car, and some other engines you can get with this car are the 4-cylinder diesels and the 6-cylinder diesel one. Now let's talk about the design of the Mercedes GLC. The car looks like every other Mercedes SUV, but that's a good thing because it's a good looking car. For the 2020 facelift model we have a more modern look of the car, which is partly because of the new headlights that have brand new pattern and look a little different than the smaller ones. They are similar to the bigger GLE, and we also have this redesigned grille here. In the Mercedes star right here we have all the radars and systems for the autopilot, that's why it's so big. And because this car is an AMG pack, we have this bumper here and this lip down here, which is of course to improve the aerodynamics of the car. Unfortunately most of the air vents are fake, even though some air can actually pass through this one right here. The first thing we notice on the side of the Mercedes GLC are the 19-inch AMG wheels, which are part of the AMG pack and actually do look quite good. We also have perforated discs and we have bigger AMG brakes, which stop quite well. Also, what's interesting is the body style of the car, which is different than the GLC Coupe model, which has a different body shape and it has a swooping roofline. This model right here is the regular version and it has a more normal SUV look. In the back of the Mercedes GLC we have this redesigned tail lights which has a new LED shape and do look quite good. We also have a spoiler up here and we have this fake diffuser down here, but unfortunately the exhausts are fake even though the car is petrol. Unfortunately the car doesn't sound very good and resembles a dying animal. Now let's check out the sound. The boot capacity of the Mercedes GLC is 550 liters, which is exactly the same as the X3 and the Audi Q5. Unfortunately, the boot is not automatic, so it can be pretty difficult to open it. Thankfully, you have a button here which releases the front seats, which is quite handy, and also under this watch here you get plenty of space, and you also get this white gloves which you can use if you have to change the tire, so your hands won't get dirty. The interior of the Mercedes GLC is one of the best in the compact SUV class. You get amazing quality and quite good materials for this class. For the facelifted model there is a brand new steering wheel, you also get the new Mercedes digital dash and the new MBUX system which gets a bigger screen which finally has some good graphics. You also have this new touchpad here, and on the model we have, it has this amazing wood trim which gives the car more class. You can actually control the Mercedes MBUX system from 3 places, which makes everything quite confusing. You can use the touchscreen, which is obvious and is pretty useful, but while you're driving you can also use this little knob here on the steering wheel, which is kind of a touchpad. And you also have a real touchpad right here like in the BMW models, which has home button, back button and more buttons as well. The system itself has quite good graphics, but it's a bit confusing to use because all the menus are hidden inside other menus, so when you want to reach something you have to dig deep inside the menus and it will take a little while, which is more complicated compared to BMW's iDrive system. Since there is no gear lever in the Mercedes GLC, you have to use this gear lever here in order to change the gears. You have to press it here up and down, and you have to press inside in order to park the car. In the back of the GLC you get plenty of headroom, but the knee-room is actually not that good. You also get this armrest here and you have 2 cup holders, but you actually have to construct them yourself, which is quite annoying. And you also get these climate vents here. The climate vents not only look amazing in this aluminum trim, but they're also very easy to use. The start engine button looks amazing and actually starts to light up when you press it. All the buttons are made from metal and not only look amazing but actually feel very expensive to touch and use. The car we tested has Burmeister audio system, which only costs €1,000 and actually sounds amazing. It's interesting how the reverse camera pops in and out when you go into the reverse gear. Even though this car is an AMG line, the Mercedes GLC is actually more geared towards comfort and luxury instead of sportiness. If you want a sportier version of the car, you have to opt for the AMG models. The rest of the range is in fact geared more towards comfort and luxury, and the model we have here is a very quiet, very soft and very nice car to ride. The steering wheel is light and very indirect, which is not good for sporty driving, but actually makes the GLC very pleasant to drive. The cabin is very well isolated and the 300 petrol engine works very quietly, which makes it a pleasant one to have, especially in town. The 9-speed G-tronic automatic gearbox also works very seamlessly, and you never know in which gear you are, but this doesn't really matter because the gearbox does a very good job of keeping you in the right gear. You have plenty of power when you need it, even though there is a noticeable turbo whack when you press the accelerator. The car actually stays very well put in the bends and there is no too much body roll, even though the car is pretty softly set up. Of course, the Mercedes GLC is not good to drive as the Alfa Romeo Stelvio or the Porsche Macan, but it's pretty comfortable and pretty good in the bends for a car that is so softly set up. The new Mercedes GLC truly managed to surprise us in a good way. The car turned out to be much more than just the next luxury crossover, and we really enjoyed the time we spent with it. The GLC looks and drives like a real Mercedes should, and while at the same time it has perfect practicality, a very nice interior and can even be fun while you drive it.